Most of you have been around long enough to know that I'm a sap. If you didn't know it before tonight, you will now. My kids won't sit next to me in movies. I cry at happy endings. A while ago, I heard something at a bar mitzvah that was the most beautiful explanation of the word nachas that I've ever heard in my life. Mom got up and said to her child, "Do you know what nachas is? Nachas is when you are so filled with joy that it comes out of your eyes as tears." I've never heard it said better. Not ever. And I managed to get through the formal pictures with the reporter before I started crying, but it really hasn't stopped since then. Because tonight, all of us in this congregation and community should be filled with such nachas for the honor that is being bestowed on us tonight. I will not go any further into it now except to introduce our two guests of honor. And believe me, I've abbreviated this. Rear Admiral Harold L. Robinson was ordained as a rabbi in 1974 by the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion in Cincinnati, Ohio. Other than the Cincinnati part, we're all with you. He was the rabbi of Temple Israel of Gary, Indiana, the Cape Cod Synagogue, and of B'nai Zion Congregation in Shreveport, Louisiana. During this time, he served for 12 years on the Commission of Social Action of Reform Judaism, 4 years on the Commission of Religious Living of Reform Judaism. He served for several years as the chair of the Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination, Cape and Islands Advisory Council. He currently serves as the director of the Jewish Welfare Board, Jewish Chaplains Council. Commissioned as an ensign in the United States Naval Reserve in 1971, Rear Admiral Robinson was commissioned as a chaplain in 1975. His reserve assignments have included training officer, executive officer, commanding officer, and regimental chaplain, 25th Marine Regiment, 4th Marine Division. He was assigned as executive officer and commanding officer and as force chaplain, Iceland Defense Force. He serves as the group chaplain for the 4th Force Service Support Group, United States Marine Corps, and as a CB National Chaplain. In 2000, he was assigned to the Chief of Naval Chaplain's Office as a Special Assistant for Reserve Manpower. His flag assignment is Deputy Chief of Chaplains for Reserve Matters and Director of Religious Programs, Marine Force Reserve. Rear Admiral Robinson is a Fleet Marine Force qualified officer. He has served overseas in locations including Naples, Italy, Holyloch, Scotland, Keflavik, Iceland, Okinawa, Japan, Guam, Manama, Bahrain, and Djibouti. He has visited our forces in Iraq, Afghanistan, Qatar, and Kuwait. Personal awards include the Distinguished Service Medal, the Legion of Merit, the Meritorious Service Medal, the National Commendation Medal with 2 gold stars, and the Navy and Marine Corps Overseas Deployment Ribbon. Today, he serves to help rabbis who are considering service in the United States Armed Forces, and it is in gratitude for his help to Rabbi Borshof that she invited him tonight. Rabbi Heather Borshof celebrated her bat mitzvah and confirmation here at Temple Rodeph Torah. As a high school student, she was honored with the Reform Movement's Keva Award for Adult Jewish Study. She received her BA from the University of Massachusetts Phi Beta Kappa, her MA from Baltimore Hebrew College, and this past May, she was ordained by the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion in the New York campus. She has served as an Air Force chaplain candidate at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas and the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, and is a student rabbi in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. She is finishing a unit of chaplaincy at the Veterans Administration Hospital in Fort Hamilton, Brooklyn. And I am very, very honored to call her my student. Rabbis, I welcome you to our congregation and our bima.
What a wonderful evening. Look at this congregation full of happy, smiley faces, and I promise at least some of the candles will still be burning when we're finished. And honored to have Congressman Holt here and to be in the congregation with my colleague. This is colleagues, I now get to say. This is such a very special occasion. You know, to be a rabbi is to be a Jew, but a Jew that is entirely involved in Jewish life. One has spent years and years of study, years of self-evaluation and growth to the moment that finally leads to ordination in front of so many other colleagues and your professors and your family. We're so glad the Borshofs are here in Mass tonight. And to walk across that pulpit and stop in front of the ark and to be ordained is just a moment where the entire self is invested in your being Jewish and in the future of Jewish life and in the welfare of individual Jews. Being a chaplain in the United States Armed Forces is another all-in moment. It is by wearing not the talit of our people, but by wearing the cloth of our nation. One commits to being fully engaged as an American patriot. And there are Jews who are not rabbis, and that is a wonderful thing. And there are Americans, wonderful patriots, who are not soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, or Coast Guard. But to be a service member is to be all in a special way. When you're a rabbi, you have the sacred opportunity to share critical moments in the life of those of your congregation that come to you. Moments of joy and happiness, weddings and births, and recovery from illness, and moments of great trial and difficulty. You share those. When you are a chaplain, a soldier, a sailor, airman, Marine, or Coast Guard, you are not only sharing those moments of transitions, you're sharing the life and the circumstances of those with whom, not to whom you serve, but with whom you serve. Heather is committing to be all in as a Jew and all in as an American. And those come together in perfect harmony, being a chaplain in the United States Army. Now, she will have wonderful opportunities to discover things about herself. She will discover things about the world, things about being a rabbi. She will learn in the next few years what it takes some rabbis to learn a lifetime, if ever. So there's a lot in it for Heather. But there's a lot of Heather that will be in it. She will be giving something special to minister to the folks she encounters, most of whom are under the age of, not most, almost all of whom are under the age of 22 years old. Far away from home, lonely, and in need of the kind of wisdom and counsel that she will bring to them. This is a very special opportunity for service, and we are very, very proud for her in doing it. She will take an oath that is as old as our country. When she finishes taking that oath, she will receive a commission. And I want to read to you what her commissioning plaque, certificate will say. That this officer will carefully and diligently discharge the duties of the office on which appointed, by doing and performing all manner of things therein belonging. I strictly charge and require these officers and other personnel of lesser rank to render such obedience as is due an officer of this grade and position, this officer to observe and follow such orders and directions from time to time as may be given by the President of the United States of America or other superior officers acting in accordance with the laws of the United States of America. And this commission is to continue in force during the pleasure of the President of the United States of America. Heather Borshof will be a true force for good. She will be ministering to Jews. You know, there are almost or around 10,000 Jews in the United States military. They're mostly Jews from our Reform congregations, conservative congregations, or the unaffiliated. Heather will be only the third Reform rabbi on active duty out of all the chaplains, over 30 that serve on active duty. Only 3 are Reform. Imagine the special capacity she will have to identify with and care for the sons and daughters of our youth movement, the sons and daughters of our camps, the brothers and sisters of our members. This is a very special time. I jokingly said to Heather, does she know hokey pokey? How many here have ever done the hokey pokey? Well, you know, when you do the hokey pokey, you know, you put your right foot in, but you get to take your right foot out. Get your left foot in, but you get to take your left foot out. When you're a military rabbi, you put your whole self in, end of sentence. That's how you do the military rabbi. So, military rabbi, our newest, about to be military rabbi, lieutenant in the United States Army. Heather, I want to tell you I am proud to invite you to come forward and take this oath of the generations that served before you and of those to whom you will minister. I have here a copy of the Tanakh, specially printed, the colors of the fabric of our country, the uniform of all 4 branches of service for men and women in the United States Armed Forces. And I give you this copy as the publisher, by the way. I get to sign it. Not the author, but the publisher. And I ask you to hold this in your left hand. There are special rules about when one can and cannot wear a hat. We call it a cover. And as a rabbi, by the way, I can wear a cover during services or during all appropriate times. But on special sacred moments, when you are called to attention, when there's something special happening, one gets to wear a cover. And so, holding the Tanakh of our people, wearing the uniform of our nation, asking the congregation to also rise in attention to the oath of office, I ask that you recite after me. I,
Heather Borshof,
do solemnly swear I will support and defend
do solemnly swear to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this oath freely,
that I take this oath freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.